The defense, may I proceed?
You may.
Your Honors, opposing counsel, members of the jury, may it please the court. Connection, confusion, conviction. The state is trying to show a connection between Whit Bowman and the misdeeds of her friend Cameron Poole. They're going to use conflicting and confusing testimony and evidence in order to try and get a conviction out of you, members of the jury. But the evidence will show that for over a year, Whit Bowman worked without incident at Proctor World Amusement Park. Within a few months of being employed, Cameron Poole was skimming money off the top. The evidence will show on August 30th, 2012, Whit Bowman was doing the job that she had done every time she went to work. On August 30th, 2012, Cameron Poole was in the main ticket booth holding a knife to the face of the park's accountant, Haley Floyd. When Cameron made his escape, Whit Bowman was operating the ride, the Tunnel of Terror. When Cameron ran into the Tunnel of Terror with Officer Winston Thomas close behind, the lights went out. The evidence will show when the lights came on, Cameron Poole was gone. And Whit Bowman is sitting here in his place. As the party bringing the case before you here today, the state has to prove to you robbery of the first degree and theft by deception, but they are not going to be able to tell you that Whit Bowman was the one who held the knife, that Whit Bowman was the one skimming the money off the surface or selling fake wristbands. Instead, prosecution has to rely on the doctrines of complicity and facilitation. What this simply means is they must show to you, in order to tie Whit Bowman to this case, that Whit Bowman counseled or aided or conspired with Cameron Poole. Also, as the party bringing the case before you, they hold the burden of proof. In a criminal case, this is the highest standard in our justice system. It is called beyond a reasonable doubt. And what this simply means, if there is any doubt or hesitation to any of the testimony or evidence that you see or hear today, you must find Ms. Whitney Bowman not guilty. As the defense, we are not obligated to call any witnesses or present our side of the case. We could sit on our hands and allow prosecution to go about their business. But because the defendant's life is on the line, we are calling forth 3 witnesses. The first, Ms. Charlie Kaminsky, a luxury transportation owner who's going to tell us how she overheard a conversation between Whit and Cameron Poole in which Whit insisted she had nothing to do with this. Next, we're going to speak to Jackie Hunter, who's going to tell us about the shadier sides of Proctor World's business practices, the training in the park or lack thereof. And finally, we're going to hear from Ms. Whit Bowman herself. Because as you know, members of the jury, there are 2 sides to every story, and Whit just wants you to hear hers. Connection, confusion, conviction. Do not allow opposing counsel to connect the dots with this confusing and conflicting testimony in order to try and get a conviction. When my co-counsel Marcus McRae comes before you at the end of today's trial, we're confident, after hearing our side of the story, we will have no choice but to find Ms. Whit Bowman not guilty. Thank you.
Thank you.